IEM Melbourne 2025 is starting tomorrow. Team Vitality is the reigning champions. They can get their Grand Slam if they win this thing. There's a few rounds where they played at a previous tournament where against Spirit they lost their nuke, and then they play the grand finals the next day against Mouse, and they actually win their nuke. And I want to show the compare and contrast of them playing their game and playing like what they are going to be the best at doing, and comparing that with this first game that they played against Spirit and where they don't really give themselves a chance to play. So hopping right into the rounds here. This is round 2 after winning pistol round. And I just want to showcase kind of like how they shoot themselves in the foot, and then talk about how to avoid that, and then also show some rounds of where they do what I'm saying that they shouldn't do, like show the strengths basically. So here comes layered smokes. We're seeing these thrown, and we're going to see this consistently from Vitality around that 130, 125 mark. Those smokes are going to be thrown. It sets up their hits to be coming around that like 110, 105, 1 minute mark, depending on what they do, whether it be outside or ramp hit timing. But here we're going to see this is going to be an upper exec, right? So what have we seen in the round so far? We've seen these outside smokes. We've seen that there's no CTs coming up this way. One guy spamming a deagle from like around heaven area. That's all we know so far. We have no info on upper. We have no info on ramp. And we just know that close outside in front of these smokes is clear. There's been no push. So no info, over a minute left on the clock. And they're going straight into a set play here. And their money is basically they've bought to 0, and they have no round loss bonus because it's round 2 after winning pistol. And they're running straight into upper, straight into a stack here. And what's going to end up happening here is, even though they kill Donk here in a second, Zontix is going to get out on the timing. He's going to catch 2 people in the back because they're all focused on Chopper from the vents. Okay? So they lose a round like this, where lots of time left in the round, no info, set play called from spawn, and they shoot themselves in the foot. So what's going to happen here? Force by Zaiwu gets AK, okay? And now look at kind of like how they're able to play out around, even on the back foot, even on a force by, how they're able to play out around when they give themselves a chance to actually play the game. So Zaiwu's going to move himself outside, doing what he does best, which is just making sure that if a person shows up on his screen and his gun's out, he's going to win that kill. So right here, spots another, right? He's taking this fight on the CT spawn guy. Shiro gets shot from Chopper in the side here. That's 2 players spotted. They probably know one guy's smoking into upper. So there's at most in this area 1 person with a late rotate, right? So this is what they do. They just move their way, and even though that they're gonna, lose a couple players here to Shiro on that rotate, and they're gonna, keep peeking, for some reason, Shiro's gonna just stand around like a dick. He's gonna die as well. It's gonna get them into this situation here. Magix is gonna win with an auto shotty this kill onto Rops, but then Apex is gonna hit him with a nice 1-dig, and now it's down into 1 versus 1 situation. And we've seen Vitality, we've seen Apex win these clutches a lot. So he's going to make his way in this 1v1, find a good opening here to get onto the site. He's going to plant, finds Chopper in the 1v1, right? Cool. You guys just recovered. They're back onto another force buy. You guys are going to get your AKs back up again, but you lived with 1 person alive only. You have no loss bonus, and if you buy to 0, it's going to be bad. So what do you want to do? We don't want to do strat from spawn with no info on what their setup is and no mid-round adjustment to the fact that they are or aren't doing something to tell us what they're doing, right? Okay, so let's see how it goes. Same recipe. Apex is going to lead outside. They're doing the early smokes this time. They're going to make their way up. There's 3 outside here. Okay. They're going to cross all the way to secret. Apex is going to spot check this. Okay, we're going to flash and run straight into upper here. Oh, shit, there goes 1. Oh, shit, there goes 2. What the hell just happened here? Guys, what happened? We know they're on a force buy. They're not fighting us close outside. Oh, fuck. So, no chance to play. They are going to just bleed out 1 at a time. They're going to be on another, force buy round here. So, okay. Well, we saved 1 gun. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to buy behind us. They buy behind it. They're on a force buy. They're going to try to go outside. Apex is actually going to get a kill here. Oh, shit, this might be like an opening. Maybe we can do something. No, just kidding. Like, we have to go make a next play. So, this round is going to slowly bleed out 1 by 1 by 1 for Vitality here, because they actually had a pretty decent opening, but now with no nades, it's kind of a done deal. they have to eco. So now it's like they're giving their foot off the gas and they're allowing their opponents to get back in. And, you know, depending on the team that they're against, that might be it for them. You know, you're the best team in the world. You can't be allowing these to slip. So we're just going to skip through here because it's basically a full eco. But then look at what happens when they allow themselves a chance to play the game and play with time as a resource and get into these mid to late round situations, these clutches, these post plants, and utilize the players that they have on this team. So they do the same timing wall smoke at the start of the round. You'll see two different basically timings. The instas, where they can kind of like do whatever set play off of it and hit a certain timing. Around like 120 is kind of when something has to happen. Or they do that 130 to 125 smoke timing from spawn, where they'll do like 105 to 1 minute timing, whether it be at ramp or like an upper hit. That's kind of usually what goes on there. So we're going to see this really like slow, methodical take down towards lower. They're clearing everything. They're going to have this, you know, chopper versus flamesy fight in a second here. But like as all this stuff is going down here, you know, okay, so this fight goes in the way of chopper, but we have like a lurker upper. Oh, wait, he's going to go down as well, right? 3 versus 5. But Donk peeks, and Apex gets that kill. And now he's going to plant here. And we see that Zywoo's down lower. He's in control side. Mezzi's got claw control, and Apex is going to double up with Zywoo here in a second, right? So we have this really good situation to be in here. Zywoo, Apex, Mezzi. Zywoo's going to come peek back up. Oh, he gets his isolated kill. Apex gets the wrap. Chopper was low HP. They knew that. They know Magix is down at U-Haul. He's low HP now. And Shiro's doing, you know, coming in late and getting his kills, but you know, the time's run out and the round's pretty much over, so he gets a couple kills here, right? But you see what happens. You give yourselves a chance to get into the round by doing the slow play, getting yourself into these situations where you can play the clock. This is where you play your best. You need to put yourself in this position as much as possible. The very next day against Mao's in the Grand Finals, they do that. I'm going to show you a couple of rounds of that. They do it, and it's fun to watch, but they give themselves a chance to play, and you can see why the players are as good as they are and why the team is as good as they are. It's because they give themselves a chance to play. Okay, so this is the first gun round. We just saw Vitality lose pistol, eco round 2. Now they got their first gun round going in. And I just want to show like these first 2 rounds here from Team Vitality on their T side and how big of a difference it is here against a team like Mao's right now. You know, they're even going to lose a player here. Apex going to take a shitload of damage, and then finally he's going to get dunked on by a nade. So they're even playing out this round 4 versus 5. And yet, they're still going to win it. And I want to show kind of like how they're able to turn these rounds around and why giving themselves a chance to actually play is just so important for them to be able to like replicate. They need to do it. This is their winning condition. The Flamesy's messing around outside, sees exertion there, but then they're just gonna walk in, get that opening kill on ramp. They're gonna be able to make their way lower. Flamesy's gonna try to live and muck about here. He's gonna try to eventually go and run away and play his life, but he's shown himself outside. That's pressure. It's pressure that the CTs have to worry about where he's going to go next, and it's going to slow them down. So we're going to see a little bit of a fight happening in a second here. We know there's 2 people right here. You know, Flamesy's wrapped his way back around, back to lobby. The CTs are still looking for him. But right now, Vitality knows that there's been a rotation to lower in their control side, re-clearing that. So they're saying, okay, well, Flamesy's upper, let's come up the vents and let's go this way together. Spinks, though, is well positioned in the vents here. So just look at this, right? Spinks gets that, but he gets traded out. Whoa, what's going on here? Let me go back, because you really need to see it from Flamesy's POV, right? Okay. So he's coming out here. His teammates are going to come out the vents. He's going to secure this. Oh, what just happened there? Oh, we're going back up. Okay. Hello. And it's like, bro, like, what is happening there? But they put themselves in this position where now it's like Brolin doesn't really even have a chance to play it, right? But look how much time was used on the clock. They used the clock. They started a man down even. Apex was gone at the start of the round. But the way that they don't force anything, they're not forcing the plant. They're moving together. Oh, you lived outside You made your way back to lobby. Okay, we can go up the vents because we know that they're retaking control side, and that means that there's a big gap on upper. Let's go back up. And, you know, some of the rounds get a little messy and funny, and, you know, we see that interaction like with Torzy and Flamesy there. But it's like, if they're going to win this consistently and give themselves a chance because, you know, they're better composed in these late round situations, then do it. So here, first timing outside smokes, and now we're going to see a second layer. Apex is going to throw a smoke into Mini and a molly into credit card here. They punish Torzy on that re-peek. Oh, smoke's clear. They haven't done anything. I'm going to peek for info. He goes down. Flames is getting set up here with some flashes. He's going to make noise. Ticks in his own molly. They know someone else could be here. He just wants to live and apply that pressure. And Apex is going to take his time to lower. And look, all that pressure has caused the rotation. Jimfat sitting over at the lockers. They have an opening kill already. Exertion's here as well. Maybe a guy's dropped lower and he's going to try to come up and fight towards Apex. So Apex needs to live. Maybe the ramp guy's gone and helped outside to stop that wrap. And that's what these guys are thinking right now. So even though Apex is like down here and he's trying to take his time, doesn't know if like someone's rotated down into him or not. Look, these guys are already down. Flamesy's eventually going to go down here. It doesn't matter. But these guys already have lower sight. And more importantly, Apex already has timing. Look at how, like, what? Wait, I'm behind two people. But look at this. There's 40 seconds left on the clock still. They used the time. They got themselves into a really sick situation. And look at how they're able to play this off. Like, these rounds are so ridiculously absurd with the positioning and people running past each other and then coming back up the fence. And, you know, but if you're putting yourself in these positions more regularly and you guys come out on top, all you have to do is get a couple of these rounds where you suddenly string some rounds together. You build yourself a nice economy, a little buffer. Now you can do the tempo change. Now you can go your set plays off the freeze time. Now you can do all these things because if you make a bad call, you have that buffer. Oh, bad call. Sorry, boys. We still buy. We can still do like a default round. We could do a second layer thing. Let's get into the mid rounds. Let's get the bomb planted. Let's get Rops and Zywoo in the clutch. Apex and Mezzy are good in the clutch too. Let's get all of us motherfuckers in the clutch because that's what we do best. So do it!